2nd and 22. There's Arlen Bruce. Touchdown. Looking at the end zone. Flicked wide open. Touchdown, Tiger Cats. Picked off James Cotton. Touchdown. It's not tied anymore. Here's Tony Miles. Touchdown. Just like that.
2005 Labor Day. The Tiger Cats over the Argonauts. 33-30.
Well, after Calgary and Edmonton had their Labor Day rematch last night, we got Hamilton and Toronto, a rematch Saturday afternoon on Wendy's CFL Live. Hi, everybody. Dave Randolph, Jock Cloney, Matt Dunnigan, Chris Schultz, and guys, I got reason number 107 that you got to love the Canadian Football League. Only in the CFL can you start 0-8 and think you still got a chance. Hamilton is benefiting from the fact that Ottawa's faltering a bit in the East. They've won 2 in a row, and the hole is still deep, Chris. But
yes,
now, you know, at least now they can see out of it. You know, they're about up to here, and they can peek around now and see what's going on. Right?
You know, this Hamilton Ticat team, the thing that impressed me about the Labor Day game last Monday is their desire and effort. In the battle of who wanted it more in that game, I thought Hamilton won. They displayed a level of emotion, a level of desire to win that football game that was unique. Toronto, they've evolved into a little bit of a finesse team. Hamilton, it's a physical football team. So if they can duplicate that intensity, if they can out-hit Toronto this afternoon, I think they can win again right at Rogers Centre.
Yeah, Cotton, Belly, Cheatwood, Peterson, they simply brought the heat on the Toronto Argonauts all night long, and it caused Damon Allen to do some uncharacteristic things, and that's not secure the football. But in fact, over the last couple of games, Damon has put the ball on the ground, and here we see why. You've got to have ball security, and you see that Damon has only has a football in one hand, and it's going to get knocked out 9 out of 10 times there. And basically, in this football game, it did. And Damon knows better. Here, it's just a great play by James Cotton. You don't see many big men make plays like that. And once again, Damon's trying to make things happen, but Hamilton is all over him. And what you see is Damon, you see him, the ball will be in one hand, and clearly it's going to be on the ground. And this forced him in a 2nd and long situation. Damon admittedly said that he's got to take better secure the football if they got a chance to turn things around this week, Chuck.
What we saw from that Tigat defense is they were flying around. And as Schultz was talking about, it comes from emotion and intensity. And that intensity comes from their head coach. You know, it's almost as entertaining to watch Greg Marshall on the sideline as it is to watch his football players. I mean, this is near the end of the game. A crucial stop by his defense. Balls on the ground. Just look at this facial reaction. Players love playing for coaches like this. But coaches who are emotional also have to remember to keep their wits about them. We've seen lots of coaches this year kind of lose it near the end of the game because they get caught up in the emotion. I don't think Greg Marshall's one of those coaches, but you do have to be concerned about that.
We should have a camera on Schulte. That's exactly how he watches the game.
No, I concentrate. I concentrate.
He's about 6 inches from
Exactly
the TV.
how he does. Yeah, right in front of the big wall of monitors. The week started with BC improving to 10-0. 61 points they scored against Ottawa. So these are the 4 remaining teams that have a crack at beating BC. They each play them twice. Our Boston Pizza CFL poll question is, who do you think is going to do it, if anybody is? Log on to tsn.ca and tell us. Time now for the starting quarterbacks, brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the CFL. Do Wendy's do what tastes right? Danny McManus, for the first time this season, no interceptions on Labor Day Monday against the Argos, going up against Damon Allen. Coming up on Wendy's CFL Live, John Wells and Leif Pedersen have the call from the Rogers Centre. Kickoff from Toronto is next.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's about time they put this rematch back on the CFL schedule. It's been 14 years since the Tiger Cats played Toronto 5 days after the Labor Day Classic in Hamilton. The Argos look for revenge. The Tiger Cats seek the series sweep. And it's a perfect afternoon for it. 20 degrees Celsius. The wind southwest at 15 under a blue sky as Greg Marshall looks on. Year 2 of the Marshall Plan. It looked a lot easier in his first season in Hamilton, but back-to-back wins make it feel a lot better.
Yeah, John, for Pinball Clemens, the mission is simple. You've got to win and get a split on the back-to-back games, and for his team, they have to protect the football. In their last 2 outings, 10 turnovers, not characteristic of the way the Argonauts play. So that is the mission today, protect the football. It is going to be physical. Talking to the players on the field before the game, they expect an all-out war, pretty much the way it was last Monday night.
Ready for an old Prefontaine kickoff for the Argonauts. Tiger Cats look to make it 3 wins in a row after knocking off Winnipeg 2 weeks ago, and it's underway at the Rogers Center. Chris Martin returning for the Tiger Cats. A little room to the near side, but that hole closed up quickly. Just 16 on the return. So Danny McManus looks to match a near perfect performance from last Monday. Flick and Morielli led the receiving corps for the Tiger Cats in that one. And Dan Tomaski is a leader on the offensive line that hasn't allowed a sack in a little bit of time. So that's the way the Tiger Cats set up.
Well, the big thing is they've won 2 in a row and they haven't given up a sack for 2 games. So if you give Danny McManus the time to throw, I mean, he can be as effective as anybody.
McManus with time here, near side, and a little high, intending it for DJ Flick.
Well, the Argonaut defense that gives up a lot of yards, but not a lot of points. Up front, the 3-4 defense. Noah Chanter trying to repeat from a all-star season a year ago. The linebacking core is spectacular. You've got speed on the outside, Fletcher and Bonner, and then some real pluggers in the middle. Mike O'Shea returning tonight after sitting out last week with a separated shoulder and a very, very tough secondary.
Starting lineups brought to you by Tums. Tums tackles heartburn fast. 2nd and 10. McManus on the money, and Mike Morielli has the first catch of the afternoon at Rogers Center.
Boy, and that is close to a first down. Morielli with 6 catches, so only 71 yards a week ago. Danny McManus, a real ball control passing game last Monday night in the 33-30 win, but early in the game, Morielli was the big target for him. Those are his numbers on the season.
Interesting situation here early in the game.
I think they're a little bit short. Mike Morielli, of course, a Hamilton native, Cardinal Newman High School, went on to play locally at McMaster, and now spent a little time in Toronto, has come back to the Ticats where his heart really belongs.
Well, there's the situation. Shy this early at that end of the field. And Kahari Jones comes in. McManus heads to the sidelines. They put a little package in for Jones in situations like this.
Well, I really believe in this, and I think, you know, gradually you're going to see more teams going to this style of short yardage where specialty quarterback runs it.
An early gamble. No flags. Does Jones have it? I'm not so sure that he got there.
Boy, he just tried to follow Dan Komisky on the left guard, and Komisky got stuffed.
The gamble. And they'll have to take a closer look. Another request for a measurement here. Tense time for Tiger Cat fans watching at home or anywhere coast to coast today.
Well, have a look at Mike O'Shea. Here's O'Shea coming right up over the middle here, and I think, you know, as Kahari Jones got stuffed, O'Shea got the helmet to helmet, and they didn't make it.
The turnover goes to the Argonauts, and an early gamble will not pay off for the Tiger Cats.
Well, it's interesting, John, last Monday night between these teams, I didn't feel like Hamilton faced much adversity throughout that game. Toronto was really going uphill the entire afternoon, shooting themselves in the foot, but boy, early in the game, Hamilton facing some huge adversity here on the turnover.
The Argonauts begin on the Tiger Cats side of the 40. Avery back to Allen. Allen looks deep, end zone toss, touchdown. Arvin Bruce III waited for it, grabbed it, and talk about a turnaround. The Tiger Cats turn it over, and the Argonauts turn it into 6.
A little trick play, handoff to Avery, flip back to Damon Allen, and then he just throws it as far as he can, throwing into the breeze, and Arlen Bruce makes the adjustment up over Ted Cornegay, the rookie corner, and that's a super catch, and what a way to start for the Argonauts. 7 points off the opening turnover.
Arlen Bruce, the third touchdown, Toronto. Damon Allen off to a hot start as the Argonauts score on the first sequence after a turnover on downs by the Tiger Cats for the 7-0 advantage at Rogers Center.
Well, it's interesting. The roof is open today, and it is rather breezy outside, 20 to 25 kilometers, and it is in the face of the Argonauts here in the first quarter because that ball hung up, but Bruce made a great adjustment.
Hagenbrook for the Tiger Cats. Lost the ball. Cats get it back. Luckily recovered by Julian Radlin, who grabbed it on the bounce, and the Tiger Cats lose a little jitters here early at Skydome for the Tiger Cats.
Argonauts covering really well on 2 kickoffs right now. Tough to see. It was Prefontaine, the kicker, who caused the fumble, sticking his head right in there, but Ray Mariusz on the opening kickoff with a solid play. Now Prefontaine, the kicker, and you usually figure on getting it to the 35, and Hamilton starts at the 28.
McManus keeps it on the ground. Troy Davis. And a little inspiration on the Argonauts side of the ball defensively so far.
Don, it was really interesting last Monday night how the Ticats put some super long drives together, and there you see 14 plays touchdown, 10 and 10 for touchdowns. And you know, Rich Stubler's defense, this is interesting. They will be willing to give up a lot of yardage, saying, you know, we don't think teams can put together 14-play and 10-play drives for touchdowns. But Hamilton defied the odds last week and was able to do it.
Davis picked up 4. McManus goes to the shotgun on 2nd and 6. Won't get it away. Jonathan Brown has the first sack of the afternoon.
Well, Jonathan Brown, here he is. He's just going to fight. Nothing fancy about this. This is just brute strength and speed and a spin move right there. And Danny McManus really has no chance. And, you know, early you see the strategy, too. They get stuffed on short yardage, John, and then 2nd and 4, no thought whatsoever to running the football, and it ends up in a sack.
Borum across his 15 to get this away for Livingston. Flat out flies every time he gets his hands on the football, and look where the Argos begin with their 2nd possession after a 29-yard return by Livingston. Damon Allen, first down, complete far side. And it's Arlen Bruce one more time. He had the touchdown on his first reception of the day.
Well, Arlen Bruce, what a great find he was for the Argonauts. You know, in 2003, he had a 1,000-plus season with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Tried his luck with San Francisco in the NFL. Didn't make it last year. Came to the Argos halfway through the year. And, you know, that's what he did so far this season with his 37th catch now, make that. But he's not only a great receiver. I mean, if Bashar Livingston's not returning kicks, he's good at that, too.
They needed a yard. They'll get the yard as Allen carries himself. Allen had a miserable Labor Day in Hamilton by his own account and takes full blame for that loss. John Avery had a little better game with 90 yards. In fact, his best rushing game of the season. The offensive line has to suck it up a little bit, and already that's in evidence after allowing 5 sacks last week. So the Argos off to a hot start here in the rematch. First down, Allen looks to the end zone. And his man, too tough to hang on. Roundtree was covering there.
Yeah, but Shaw made the hit. Wayne Shaw came over beautifully from his safety spot and read the play just at the last second. R.J. Soward, who's been a hugely productive receiver when they get in the red zone, touchdown-wise. Look, he's got the ball, but the timing perfect by Wayne Shaw. I mean, Soward initially beats the coverage, but Wayne Shaw really saves Roundtree from a touchdown pass over top of him.
R.J. Soward, 3 catches for 28 yards and 1 touchdown last week, returning today to the Argonaut lineup.
You talk about production. Soward doesn't usually drop too many near the end zone, and 10 catches this year, only 6 games, 3 touchdowns. What a super ratio that is. In fact, you know, last year the same kind of thing. There's RJ, and he's missed a few games with the shoulder, 4 games with shoulder injuries. But last year he had 15 catches for 5 TDs, again 1 in every 3. This guy produces in the red zone.
Talbot to the near side. On 2nd and 10, Allen goes for the bunch again and overthrows his target one more time. It was Tony Miles who was in behind the coverage and behind Roundtree.
Wow, they're really picking on Alfonso Roundtree, who's getting his first start at the halfback. And boy, the Hamilton defense really had a super game last Monday night. Adriano Belli didn't factor in the box score, but he had pressure all night. The linebacking core was solid, coached by Ben Zambiazzi, who's there on a volunteer basis, and the secondary, a rookie, Ted Cornegay on the corner, Roundtree with his first game, and you saw early Kent Austin, the offensive coordinator, going right at Alfonso Roundtree.
Noel Prefontaine from 30, and he missed that one. Sails right through for the single. Prefontaine doesn't miss often, hitting on 77%, but he only gets 1 there. Tough start for the Tiger Cats, but it could have been worse. It's 8-0. Prefontaine missing the field goal, and the Argos scoring on their first possession. So the Tiger Cats get another crack at it here. Beginning at the 35. Time to put a little something together. McManus will do it there. DJ Flick hit by 2 Argonauts.
Well, Mike O'Shea broke his heart to miss that game last Monday. He is back tonight. He had a separated shoulder. Better not say tonight. This afternoon, isn't it?
Still
used to
late afternoon.
Boy, what a career he's had. 1999 Canadian MVP of the league. And, you know, I don't know how long he's going to play. Ray Mariuz is waiting in the wings.
Looking up for the first down, and this is tough slugging for Davis inside. Wrapped up in a hurry.
It's interesting they brought Kahari Jones in on a first down play there, and just a handoff to Davis, but rather interesting that they've just been primarily using Kahari Jones in short yardage situations, but that time tried to sneak him in there and just to hand off the football. I'm really not quite sure what the strategy is on that one.
Well, when Kahari comes in, there's a slightly better chance the Tiger Cats may sprint a little bit from that spot. McManus picked off. Kenny Wheaton has the interception, and he's to the 50. Wheaton went up and brought it down, and McManus had a flawless week last week in that area, or at least earlier this week on Monday.
Well, really heads-up play by Kenny Wheaton, a veteran defensive back. And what happens is they got 4 receivers out to this side of the field, single coverage back there with Flick. Now here's Wheaton. So what he says is, I don't need to help Younger. I can slide over here and see if I can help out on the backside. And you watch as he throws downfield, he's watching for the receiver coming across the middle, and that is a perfect play. He really has nobody in coverage. He's just reading the situation, and that is really heads up.
Wheaton's first interception sets the Argonauts up at the Toronto 50, first down. Allen the pitch. Avery has it. John Avery, 3, maybe 4, off left tackle. Avery coming off his best running outing of the season with 90 yards in Hamilton on Monday.
Yeah, it was interesting. I talked to Ben Zambiazzi, the Hall of Fame linebacker, who's helping out with the Hamilton linebackers now, and you know, they talked about that this week. You know, 90 yards, 14 carries. That was the best outing for Avery this week, and they really anticipated Damon Allen trying to establish Avery on the ground again early tonight. Although I'll tell you, it is absolutely not the focus of Toronto's offense to make sure Avery gets a lot of carries on the ground. This is a pass offense first.
He picked up 4. This is 2nd and 6 for Allen. Swings it out. Tony Miles, and he'll be very close to the first down. Where they spot the ball, he's right along the 50. Miles productive in his last 3 games.
Tony Miles is part of a little Leaf trivia today. Tony Miles and Dan Comiskey, what do they have in common? The offensive lineman from Hamilton.
They both wore your number.
No. They both were traded at different times for Joe Monfort.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. How's that?
Just shy of the first down, and no problem converting there for Damon Allen. 3rd and less than a yard to go, actually inches to go.
Well, there's Ken Austin, the offensive coordinator, and one of the things to watch for today, they've got an 8-0 lead. They've had great field position, and you know, how patient will he be? How patient will he be in not trying to stretch the defense when he doesn't have to? And already they've loosened things up. They've gone deep a few times. Of course, the touchdown to Bruce, and then a soured one over the middle that Wayne Shaw broke up. But I mean, I think that's good early in the game to do that.
On first down at the 50. Flag down. Allen looks deep. Receiver in behind the cover. He's got it. Soward has the touchdown. Marker down, back at the line.
Procedure, Toronto, no end, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
All the way back. But another indication, Leaf, of the Argonaut receivers getting in behind that Tiger Cat secondary.
Well, it's been bombs away here in the first quarter. 4th time that they've gone deep, and obviously they felt that they missed some opportunities last week. One of the things to look for is for Damon Allen to go backside of the field. I mean, front side means that's your 3 and 4 receivers. Backside is 1 or 2 receivers, and they seem to be open a lot last week that he didn't see.
Allen at 1st and 15. Avery snuck in behind that time.
Well, and that's a matchup Toronto will take all day. I mean, I love Rob Hitchcock as a linebacker, but I think if they're going to put Avery or Hitchcock on Avery, they're asking for trouble right here. And as Avery comes out of the backfield, you're going to see this develop. Here's 42. Look at this. I mean, that's no contest. And Hitchcock takes underneath trying to pick it off, but the ball was nicely thrown over the top. Avery just couldn't adjust to it. But I think if Hamilton gets caught in that matchup too many times, they're going to lose that one.
2nd and 15, Argonauts right at midfield. Under the coverage this time. Miles has it, and he can't turn that into a first down. He'll get some yardage back, 10 in fact. So it's 3rd down in a punting situation for the Argos for the first time.
Solid situational defense by the Ticats. Just don't let anybody get behind you, come up and make the play when it's 2nd and 15.
Prefontaine at his 50. The newcomer Sidney Hagebrook deep for the Tiger Cats, standing near his 10.
And here's where Prefontaine is as good as anybody at angling it to. The single really means nothing here. I mean, it's all about field position.
Flags everywhere. A little warm-up punt for Prefontaine. Third and 5 as they talk it over. It would appear it's against the Argonauts.
Procedure, Toronto, number 10, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Prefontaine 5 further back. Hagebrook has a couple on the return.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Perfect kick by Prefontaine.
Right to the sideline. Danny McManus and the Tiger Cats off to a tough start at Rogers Center this afternoon. Beginning deep in Ticat territory. Craig Yeast makes the catch, and he's halfway to a first down. On the sidelines this afternoon, Sherry Ford.
Well, guys, nothing like a little rematch of the bitter battle of Southern Ontario to bring out the fans. In fact, this is the largest crowd the Argos have had all season. No official word on numbers yet, but well over 32,000 fans in attendance. The first level sold out, the second level sold out, and to add to the rowdiness, the Argos have issued a challenge to the Tiger Cat fans. Win back-to-back, get your money back.
The Tiger Cat fans are up in the high deck. McManus. Whoa, just about. Clifford Ivory was dangerously close to taking that for another 6 for the Argos.
Why, Ivory was just waiting in the weeds. There he is, 3-time All-Canadian. You know, he's taken 4 interceptions back for 2 touchdowns in the last couple of years. Here's Ivory coming like he's shot out of a cannon. What a great play by him. I mean, he just baits quarterbacks. You know, they think the guy's open, and Ivory, he knows exactly what's going on, and he comes breaking on the football so well.
Late flag.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what it was? Dave Hack took a shot at Michael Fletcher for no reason at all, and, you know, they might have thrown Hack out. He's certainly going to get flagged. He's the right tackle, and just way after the play, for whatever reason, he knocked Fletcher down. So we'll see.
The conference continues.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton number 68. It's a dead ball foul. Half the distance to the goal line, 3rd down.
Well, those are some tough yards, especially when your punter is only netting about 32 yards a kick this season, and I wouldn't even be surprised here the way this first quarter's gone if Jamie Borum gives up the safety field position, because I mean you're just asking for trouble if you punt it away.
Well, the Argos have instant field position, and that's the decision without question.
That's a good one.
The Argos would have had it right out at the 50-yard line at worst, and Livingston was there licking his chops. So it's 10-0 Toronto. Looking ahead to Wendy's Friday Night Football from Ottawa. The Blue Bombers in town. And it'll be a critical game for both teams. Winnipeg playing later today against Saskatchewan as the Bombers host the Rough Riders, and the Renegades smarting from that loss to the BC Lions.
That was ugly.
Thursday night, yes.
That was ugly. That was one of the longest games I've ever sat through.
61 points. Boy, the Lions do look good. No question about that.
Well, for Ottawa and Winnipeg, we'll see what happens later tonight. Saskatchewan, of course, at Canada Stadium in Winnipeg on the back end of their doubleheader.
So the Tiger Cats down by 10. Something to smile about at the Argonauts sideline.
Well, I love the pinball. You know, we just had him on there, and he's smiling. And there he is. I just love the way when his players introduced, and of course you don't see it at home on TV, but they introduced the offense today, and he gets in the face of each guy, and he has a special little message for each player, a different message, and what they need to do to have a success on this day. And I just absolutely love that. Love the way he coaches. I love the way Greg Marshall coaches too.
Jamie Borum. Livingston at the 10. Remember him against the Stampeders 2 weeks ago? Not this time. The Tiger Cats have it well covered, and he's stopped in his tracks at the 40-yard line.
You know what, I talked about the pregame stuff with pinball, but we have a look at it, and to me it's, you know, you saw it at the Grey Cup last year, but it's a little message for each guy on what they have to do to be successful. Of course, there's Miles, and he just throws them out. He gets those guys so pumped up and ready to play. And for anybody that's ever heard him as a motivational speaker, I mean, he is just beyond compare. He's just so talented, and he's able to bring all those skills to his football team. And for me, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Here are the Argonauts beginning at the 40. Miles away from one, and he'll turn that into a first down, or very close to it.
Well, Rob Hitchcock's been caught in a couple of bad matchups so far in this first half. One on John Avery, where Avery was in behind, but they couldn't complete the ball. And here's another one, Hitchcock to the outside. I mean, it's tough. Tony Miles is a real slippery receiver, and once he catches the ball in the open field, I mean, he is a tough guy to bring down at the best of times.
No doubt about the first down, and quickly the Argos are out across their own 50-yard line. Damon Allen very much in control of things so far. Swing pass near side. It's Miles again to the other side.
Well, one thing that was evident last week was the total dominance of the Hamilton defensive line, and there you see some of the things that they did. And Adriano Belli got tons of pressure with no sacks, but you know, Cheatwood had a couple of sacks last week, Devon Peterson with a couple of sacks, and Chris Martin threw in the other one to have 5. But so far you see that the Toronto protection has been much better in this first half. And
Damon Allen rebounding from a tough outing in Hamilton, where he threw a couple of interceptions and fumbled the ball twice. That was 2nd and 2. And John Avery looks to have it. Very uncharacteristic of the performance of Damon Allen last week, and James Cotton had the interception for the touchdown.
Well, to me, this was the turning point in the football game. And of course, Hamilton went on to win 31-30, but Allen trying to hit Avery out in the flat, and James Cotton just read it so perfectly and has the 15-yard interception for the touchdown. But to me, that was the total turning point in that football game.
Argonauts continue rolling along, another first down. Allen right there again. Soward, another catch. Lots of weapons at Damon Allen's disposal. Hasn't looked to Baker yet, or Andre Talbot.
Hamilton doing a lot of substituting on defense on second down situations now. Devon Peterson comes out, the lineman. They put 24, Renard Cox, a linebacker slash defensive back, in for a little better coverage.
2nd and 5, Allen shotgun, flag down. Allen takes off, and he'll have the necessary yardage if the penalty is against the Tiger Cats.
Offside. Hamilton, number 23. Penalties decline. First down.
Alfonso Roundtree.
Well, it's been a pretty slow start for Greg Marshall here in the first quarter. I think the good news is he's only down by 10.
I think when you look at it from a Tiger Cat perspective, it could have been worse.
Yes.
Tiger Cat cheerleaders get a chance to perform on the road at Rogers Center this afternoon in the Labor Day rematch. Here are the first quarter stats brought to you by Arona, the how-to people. First downs.
Yeah, look at that for Hamilton. 1 first down. I mean, that's tough. And then, of course, the 7 points on the turnover.
First down for Allen, escapes the charge, and he'll slide safely halfway to another Argonaut first down near the 30. A flawless opening quarter for Damon Allen.
Yeah, I think, you know, with all the great field position that he's had, I think he would like to have a few more points. Cheatwood coming from the outside and Adriano Belli up the middle. They flush Allen out. Well, this is very reminiscent of a week ago. And, you know, as good as field position that Toronto has had and everything their own way, I think they'd like to have a lot more than 10 points.
3 receivers to the near side on 2nd and 5. Allen looks in that direction. And no one home. The target? Well, we're not sure.
Well, Robert
Baker,
Baker, no, he was looking for Robert Baker over the middle because the middle linebacker, Augie Baranchia, got caught having to cover Baker. And what a terrific matchup that is in Toronto's favor, but Allen missed the target. And again, you know, they're going to have to rely on Noel Prefontaine to come in. And although Allen's numbers have been reasonable so far in this game, and there they are, I think he'd be a little disappointed if you talk to him right now that they don't have more on the board than this.
Well, they had the 1 touchdown called back with Soward making the catch on the line, and Noel Prefontaine, and he's got that one. Missed his first, gets his second, and the Argos have a 13-0 advantage on the Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats, after giving up the field goal, have a first down at the 35. McManus pumps once, looks deep. Receiver is down. No flag anywhere. The coverage was very tight on Flick by Wheaton.
Well, Danny Mack has not been able to get into any kind of rhythm here in the first half. You know, a week ago, well documented, he had a stretch of 17 for 17, but here only 1 first down for the offense, and you know, he's got to get something going, if for no other reason than to give his defense a little bit of a breather.
Another 2nd and long for McManus and the Tiger Cats over the middle this time. Morielli brings it down. Mike Morielli, first catch, former Argo, celebrated some good times in Toronto, but as you said earlier, he's really labeled a Tiger Cat for so many other reasons.
No question, and what a great catch this was to give his team a first down. He goes high in the air. Steinhauer with the coverage, and he takes the hit from Wheaton. Toronto brought 6 people that time on the blitz, and McManus read it, stepped up, and delivered a strike. And boy, a much-needed first down. Well, actually,
not quite 3rd and inches here.
I'm sorry. I thought they signaled first down. So here, last time they gambled, they didn't make it.
Shorter distance this time, and they hand it off with Kahari Jones in there, and Radlin has the first down. Not by a whole bunch, but an inch or 2 is good enough, particularly for the Tiger Cats at this time.
Well, what Toronto tries to do is to take their defensive lineman submarine underneath the offensive line and then let O'Shea come over the top, as he does right there. But O'Shea got caught up in the wash, and Redlin made that with room to spare.
Tiger Cats out across the 45 now. First down at the 46, in fact. Troy Davis. Davis has not had quite as productive a season as last year when he rushed for 1,628 yards and 10 touchdowns. The Tiger Cats have not had that kind of success either, but he's coming into this game with 601 yards rushing.
Well, he's still 4th in the league in rushing, and quite frankly, when you're 0-8, you're not establishing the run a whole lot because all you're doing is playing catch-up. So I think these numbers, you know, there's a bigger story to why he's not up near the top.
8 yards there, and they'll get nothing here on 2nd and a couple. Ivan was there, and he met Troy Davis in the hole.
And that's a tough break for the Ticats. I mean, 2nd and short, you think, wow, we're going to pick up another first down, 2nd on this drive, keep going, and all of a sudden, Kevin Ivan, All-Canadian last year, what a terrific year he had. He shoots the gap and makes the play in the backfield. Boy, he was, you know, a 5-year player with the Argos and spent the first 3 years establishing himself on special teams, and then now starting for the 2nd year in a row, and he's been terrific.
Parham down to Livingston. Starts out at the 10. Finds a little room sideline, but the flag is already down. Back at the 19. 32 on the return, appeared to be stopped prior to that. Not many positive signs for the Tiger Cats so far in Toronto this afternoon. Perhaps here, though, where they've got the Argonauts backed in deep.
Yeah, John, you know, here's a perfect opportunity. Toronto's only scored 13 points for all the offense they've had, but now they're backed up, and if Hamilton's defense can step up a little bit, they get the ball back, and, you know, all of a sudden this game could really turn around in a hurry, but Hamilton needs the defensive stop. They're going to have to set the tone right here.
Damon Allen on first down, swings it up, and he'll get another first down. Yards to spare as Allen connects with John Avery. Avery has made a difference so far today, and looking back to Monday in Tigertown as well.
Well, and this is where he's going to make his biggest contributions to this offense. Here's Avery. He's just going to swing out, because Damon Allen's got nobody downfield. Good decision. Get Avery the ball quickly, but he's not going to have many 100-yard rushing days. But catching the ball out of the backfield is where he's going to help this offense, and all of a sudden they get great breathing room.
Avery picked up 20. He's got it again. And 6 yards there for John Avery.
Well, and if John Avery gets into a rhythm, you know, he's a real rhythm kind of back. You feed him the football either on the ground or through the air, you get him involved. I mean, he can all of a sudden, if you don't get to him enough during the game, you know, he's got to keep his interest up. But I think really for Hamilton's defense, this was a huge missed opportunity when they had Toronto backed up.
Already the Argos are out across the 35-yard line, looking at 2nd and 4 from the 36. Allen shotgun. He's got time. He's got a target. And he's got a first down at the 45. Robert Baker, first catch of the day.
Well, I'll tell you, this is, again, a quarterback's dream if you can read it properly. Here's the middle safety, Wayne Shaw. What does he do? He gets caught up right in here. That means you're going post as a quarterback right away. He gets stuck up in there and no help over the middle. There's Robert Baker. He fights for the football nicely against Chris Martin. But when you see that middle vacated, we've seen that happen over the course of this season, and the quarterbacks that read it quickly and take advantage, you're really going to have success. That was beautiful.
This takes and tells a big part of the story with the Argonauts, as Baker got one hand on it, picking up 28 yards on the previous play.
And Damon Allen's laughing because he missed another one, because he had 1-on-1 again over the middle. Wayne Shaw coming up in coverage. I mean, he's been a corner in his career. He's a good cover guy, but you know, you make a mistake there on Baker and he's gone. Davis Reed, I think the defensive coordinator for Hamilton's got to gamble a little bit more right now. 13-0, and Toronto's really driving. I think he's got to try to upset the rhythm of it, Damon Allen.
Ticats need a play on defense, and this won't be it as Avery heads to the end zone. John Avery has 6. A 46-yard strike. Allen to Avery.
Well, Hamilton comes with the blitz. Davis Reed takes a chance. You're going to see Cox blitzing, and what does Avery do? He just comes back that way, and there's nobody to pick him up. There's Roundtree 23. He passes him off, and that is a pretty easy touchdown. And what a drive did Damon Allen put together there.
Argonauts were backed deep into their own zone, and Allen engineers a 100-yard drive and finishes it off with a 46-yard strike to John Avery. High-flying Argos rolling this afternoon. John Avery has a 46-yard touchdown for the Argonauts, and that is part of the reason Toronto leads 20-0 on the Tiger Cats in the rematch this afternoon at Rogers Center. Chris Martin returning for Hamilton, and the Tiger Cats can't get a break. Defensively, the Argonauts have been much more solid. Mike Clemens is happy to have Mike O'Shea back in the lineup. He's still the quarterback of this Argo defense.
He's the heart of our football team. He is the pulse, no question about it. And not only does he bring great understanding, but his eyes say things that words can't. When you see him and the focus that is in his eyes and the direction that he gives on the football field, you can't replace that.
O'Shea missed the Labor Day game. Back in the lineup for this one. And the receiver definitely exposed there. Morielli held on.
Boy, Jordan Younger on the corner just timed that perfectly. I mean, he read it, left his man, and then absolutely unloaded on Morielli. And to Morielli's credit, he was able to hang on for about 6 yards. But watch the hit right here, right in the ribs. Jordan Younger's turned into a fine corner in his second year, and they can rely on him for man-to-man coverage whenever they need to.
2nd and 3. And Mike Fletcher makes the play on Troy Davis that time.
Well, I'll tell you, this is twice now that Hamilton has just figured, well, we got an easy first down coming up here on 2nd and short. And Ivan stuffed him the last time. Now it's Michael Fletcher. And this linebacking core is just so quick. You know, I gave a lot of accolades the other night to BC's group with Barron Simpson in the middle, and you got Carl Kidd, guys like that, and Otis Floyd. I'll tell you, Toronto's 4 linebackers and their 3-4, they have tremendous speed, and they're smart how they play this game.
Livingston at the Argonaut 30. Borum for the Tiger Cats. Low snap. Digs it out, not deep. Not in the field of play for very long either.
Well, he got nervous there and had a terrible drop.
26 yards on the punts. Looking forward to a new season on TSN. Family fights to rebuild their lives, and what they're about to face next will make them question everything they know. The Invasion begins Wednesday, September 21st on CTV.
But John, a really good friend of yours and mine and the CFL, Jim Shaky Hunt, is recovering in Riverdale Hospital here after a broken ankle. He's going to have a lot of time to watch shows like Invasion, but the press box here in Toronto is not the same without Jim Shaky Hunt. We wish you all the best and hope you're up and around soon.
Certainly do, Jim. Get well quickly. Here's Avery escaping for extra yardage. He should have been stopped about 4 yards prior to the 50-yard line. And he's had his hands on the ball a lot in this one this afternoon.
Well, again, I've always said you've got to keep his interest level up. He's caught or touched the ball 6 times today already in this first half, and touchdown reception as well.
Got an assist on the first touchdown. The handoff to Avery. He pitched back to Allen. And
that's right.
Allen connected with Arlen Bruce for Bruce's 6th touchdown of the season. So the Argos are marching again out at midfield almost, just across the Toronto 50. John Avery, his 7th touch, has 3. And they'll look at this closely.
You see official parking brake of the Argonauts. You can try new Cobra outside Rogers Center before
Now, a lot of people always wonder, is John Avery 100% healthy? And I mean, once you get into the midpoint of the season like this, I don't know that anybody's completely healthy, but his knee was a problem last year. And, you know, I think he's as healthy as he's going to be. And again, he just wants to touch the football, and it's tough in this offense. It's a pass offense and run second.
3rd and inches. I think Avery is as healthy as he has been as an Argonaut right now when you look back to last week.
Well, I know he is. And I've never seen Coach Clemens this calm on the sidelines. I mean, he's always much more intense, but today he's laughing, smiling. He's having a great time.
Well, if he looks up at the scoreboard, he's feeling fairly confident after a less than impressive outing against the Tiger Cats at Ivor Wynn earlier this week on Monday evening.
Well, clearly last Monday Hamilton was far more the emotional team and carried that over to a real physical game that they played, but this afternoon the roles have been totally reversed.
Tiger Cats were composed on offense, made some plays on defense. 3rd and inches for Damon Allen, and he'll get the first down, slipping across midfield, so the Argonaut drive will continue.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by General Motors and all its divisions.
Rogers Center, great crowd on hand for an Argo Tiger Cat afternoon. First time in a long time that these two teams have met in the rematch in Toronto after the Labor Day Classic in Hamilton. Pinball was saying yesterday that he was really happy to see it back on the CFL schedule. First down, Toronto. Allen rifles one, and that one was nearly intercepted as the receiver fell down. Alfonso Roundtree had an opportunity.
Well, I mean, this is critical time for Ticats right now. They're behind 20-0. They've really done zero on offense today and put a lot of pressure on their defense. But, you know, I think if Toronto scores any more points here before the half is over and Hamilton can't respond, I mean, I don't know if they can come that far back. They haven't shown that they're a comeback team this year. So, I mean, they're at a real critical stage.
2nd and 10, Toronto. Argos in midfield. Allen has time, but the Tiger Cats come storming through. Ruled an incomplete pass. Dunbrack was there for one. And Allen down on the field and in some pain at the 40-yard line.
Boy, the Hamilton Ticats don't stunt a lot, but they do it right here, and extremely successful. Watch, Belly did the outside. Here comes Cotton right up the middle. Now, initially, protection's not bad. But then Damon Allen, as he steps up, he takes the shot from James Cotton right up the middle. And that
was Dunbrack going over the top leaf, and that was what took Allen's helmet off. And Dunbrack was going after the loose football.
Damon, clearly, as you see, he's spitting some blood out right here. So let's go back, and I mean, you know, the thing is it a fumble or is it an incomplete pass? And they certainly judged that his arm was going forward. I'm sure he's going to be back. Just watch the arm. I don't know. He's trying to tuck it back in at that stage. I mean, I think that's a tough one, but you know, maybe we'll go back one more time. He was trying to tuck that ball back in. He was not throwing it. So I think the Ticats could sure have a beef there that wasn't a fumble.
Prefontaine bouncing at the one and then trickling out of the end zone. Craig Yeast was back and appeared to lose it a little bit. A 59-yard single for Noel Prefontaine. So that rounds it out to an even 21 points.
Well, one more time, have a look. Was he trying to pull it back? Yeah, he was, and I could really see where an official could get fooled by that because the motion was so strong going forward, but it certainly was clear to me that his intent was to bring the football back into his body, therefore creating maybe a fumble. Not maybe, a fumble.
And the Tiger Cats got a hold of the football, but they'll have to settle for possession back at the 35, not where it appeared they recovered the ball. Not pretty, but Rattling made the catch.
It's interesting to see Noah Cantor on the nose. I mean, he kind of sniffed that one out, and he turned into a defensive back, and he almost had a chance to make the play in the air on Rattling. Toronto's got some smart guys on defense. They just read situations so well, and they're a veteran group. You know, Jonathan Brown, Cantor, and England up front. Lots of experience on that defense.
Tiger Cats pick up 5. It is 2nd and 5 from the 40, and there's
whoops
a little early movement. Antonius Bonner was about 5 yards in behind that Tiger Cat offensive line. Timing just a little bit off.
As they say in life, timing is everything.
It certainly is.
Antonius Bonner, he said, well, I'm this far, I can't get back. I might as well just have some fun with Danny Mac. So they had a good laugh over that one.
Well, it changes things because the Tiger Cats were looking at 2nd and 5 and a bit. Now it's 2nd and inches. And Kahari Jones comes in. Jones came in on a 3rd down gamble. It was 3rd and 1 in the opening quarter. And the Argos stuffed him.
I'm just wondering, you know, when they put in a short yardage package for Kahari Jones, at some point do they have something a little more risky than just quarterback sneaks and handoffs?
Oh my.
Well, he got
Well,
it.
they got it, but it wasn't a pretty play at all.
Well, since they got stuffed early in the game on 3rd down, anytime they've had a short yardage situation, Hamilton has really been reluctant to go right up the middle, and it's hurting them going to the outside all the time.
Tiger Cats do get the 1st down. 3-minute warning in Toronto. Perfect afternoon at the Rogers Center for a little almost fall football. Time show just ahead. Boys are all fired up and ready to go. McManus on 1st down, won't get it away. Wrapped up, ball loose. Kicked ahead by the Argos. Chance to score, but stopped at the 15. Now it's bobbled again, and Fletcher makes the 2nd recovery of the loose ball. McManus took a hit. And coughed it up.
Well, watch the stunt here. Jonathan Brown, 97, comes from his defensive spot on a stunt all the way up the middle. Watch how far he comes, and look at the opening. Cantor goes to the right, creates the opening. Watch O'Shea right here. He kicks the football. It's soccer. And then the fun starts, and I do believe Michael Fletcher ends up making the recovery, but Mike O'Shea, pretty heads-up play. He knew he couldn't pick it up initially, so he kicks it downfield. Once again, disaster for the Argos, or for the Ticats, rather.
Argonauts are set up at the 15-yard line. And Damon Allen on the sidelines as Michael Bishop comes in with Allen shaken up.
Well, and those are the numbers in very limited playing time this season for Michael Bishop, and 1 touchdown, 1 interception so far this season. And Damon took a shot in the mouth there, and he was bleeding quite a bit when he came off the field, so whether he got a few teeth loosened, I don't know.
From the 10, 2nd and 5. Bishop took a hit as he fired. Robert Baker was the intended target, so Bishop can't get it done from the 15-yard line, and the field goal team comes in. Cheatwood ruined his debut this afternoon.
Well, no substitute for pressure, and this time Tim Cheatwood, they just turned him loose, and Bishop had to let the ball go before the play developed. But again, a costly turnover is going to result in points for the Argonauts.
Ivan will hold. Prefontaine will put it through. And the Argos have scored on virtually every opportunity so far this afternoon. It's 24-0. Argos leading the Ticats. So Mike O'Shea gets back into the Toronto lineup and makes his presence felt, chipping in to set up a scoring drive. .2:13 till halftime, and McManus a little shy on the intended toss for Dondra Gilliam.
It's tough to figure how 4 days can change the complexion of a team so much. I mean, for Greg Marshall and offensive coordinator Jamie Barisi, you know, everything was so fluid last Monday night, and long drives, and boy, this team is just like night and day here.
Ticats have not been able to get into any kind of a rhythm so far at the Rogers Center this afternoon. McManus shotgun, 2nd and 10. Here's the charge. McManus unloads. And no catch. DJ Flick at the 50, and he paid the price. Couldn't hang on.
Kenny
Flick
Wheaton.
took a hit.
Kenny Wheaton. Kenny Wheaton's had a solid first half. A smart player, and he's made a couple of deflections earlier in the game, and now over the middle flick, and watch the hit right here. Timed perfectly by Wheaton, and he separates DJ Flick from the football. I mean, that is the receiver nightmare. You're going up for it, and you get your legs cut out. It's a terrible feeling. I remember. Jock Climby, I'm sure, remembers. But it's just amazing to me the emotional difference in this game 4 days later from last Monday. I mean, Toronto was the team that really didn't have as much emotion in that game in Hamilton that they might have liked, and now today it's all Toronto, everything going their way. And for Greg Marshall, I mean, they just can't get a sniff right now.
Well, it started in the opening sequence when the Argonauts scored on the opening possession, and the Tiger Cats have not responded, obviously, with a 0 on the scoreboard at 24-0.
I can tell you, when you gamble on third down and it's, you know, not very much to go, you know, you're expecting to make that. I mean, obviously that's why you do it, but I mean, as a team, you're expecting. And when they got shut down early and then Toronto scored right away, I mean, that just right off the bat set the tone so much in Toronto's favor.
And lots of time for the Argonauts here. Another low snap. Borum gets it up. Livingston across the 35. Tracked down and stopped after a 1-yard return. The net result there after a 41-yard punt.
So Michael Bishop once again comes out for his second series at the controls, and it was because of this. Damon Allen takes an awful shot up the middle. The stunt. Here comes James Cotton, 99, right up the middle, and then he got trampled as all the other players were going to what they thought was a loose football and quite possibly could have been considered a fumble.
So Bishop behind the center, pitch to Avery. Cuts it back in, and the Tiger Cats, 4 of them, surround the Argonaut running back. Led by Chris Martin. Sherry?
Well, there's been quite a few doctors looking into Damon Allen's mouth. The verdict is a cut gum. There's a lot of blood. They've glued the gum back together, so he will come back into the game. And Mike O'Shea dropped by him and said, man, it's only teeth. Get back in there. Lots of compassion from his team.
Yeah, well, that sounds like Mike O'Shea. I mean, if you want compassion, don't go to O'Shea. And I think the way Damon's warming up, you're going to see him start the third quarter. Or I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Well, he's got the helmet on. He may get back in here before it's over. This first half, 1:45 on the clock, and there's an injured Argo being tended to there. It's Avery. Argonauts leading the Eastern Division.
Well, you know, and I think in this situation, I'm sure Michael Clements and Ken Austin have had a chat with Michael Bishop. When he enters the game, you got a 24-zip lead. You got 2nd and 12. Protect the football. Don't do anything silly to try to change the flow of this game just before the half.
So Bishop goes to the shotgun, rolls to his right.
And that's exactly what he did.
Andre Talbot. So Talbot has a 7-yard gain.
Well, he wasn't going to get the first down, but Michael Bishop's mission was simple. Don't do anything silly to give Hamilton any faint grasp of hope going into the locker room. If they get it, make them earn it.
1:27 till halftime. Tiger Cats.
And see, you know what? I'll guarantee Pinball right there just said, good job. You did the right thing.
Prefontaine will kick it away to Hagerbrook. Sidney Hagerbrook standing back just inside the Tiger Cat 30. A 2-hopper. Ran into one of his own blockers. A 7-yard return. Looking ahead to a new season of the NFL on TSN. Indianapolis meeting Baltimore. And to kick off tomorrow in high def at 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific. The NFL on TSN.
What a matchup. Peyton Manning, Ray Lewis, the fearsome middle linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. Great game to kick off our season on Sunday Night NFL.
Minute 15 to go. McManus still at the controls for the Tiger Cats. Over the middle as Morreale. And Ivan was with him. Fourth for Morreale.
Toronto's coverage downfield tonight has been so solid. They've really forced McManus on all his throws to go underneath the receivers, and they're just not making any mistakes. Adrian Smith, Kenny Wheaton, they've had great first half. Steinhauer, when they've needed him, has been there. Clifford Ivory with a knockdown already, and Jordan Younger. I mean, this secondary is a good veteran group, and they just don't make a lot of mistakes.
On second down, behind the target that time, it would have been first down territory. Morreale couldn't squeeze at that time. Ivory covering.
Ivory was ball hawking again. I mean, he was reading the eyes of the quarterback, and he almost had another pick. There you see him being congratulated. Morreale's the inside receiver going downfield. And watch as he makes his break. You're going to see old 13 showing up right now, and he's thinking interception. See his hands? He was trying to grab that ball.
50 seconds till halftime. Bashar Livingston will get his hands on the football one more time. Looks like McManus is done for the opening half with limited time remaining. Livingston draws a flag, and a crowd lost the ball out of bounds. Who touched it?
Uh-oh. It's starting.
Far side of the field.
Well, it's 24-zip. We got a bunch of frustrated Ticats, and things are starting.
4 flags on the turf here at Rogers Center, indicating that virtually all the officials saw it.
You know, it's going to be no yards Hamilton, so Toronto will get the ball, but it almost looked like near the end when Bashar Livingston just popped it out of his hand there, like the Hamilton
That
player.
was what I was wondering, who touched it last on the way out of bounds.
I don't think it would matter. I mean, to me, it was no yards. Wayne Shaw touched it. His foot might have been on the line as well. A lot of stuff for these referees to sort out here. There's flags everywhere.
But the first penalty was the no yards. Mike O'Shea with a few tips to the backup quarterback who's been into the game. Michael Bishop with Damon Allen.
Look at this. I'm telling you, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another one in there. 5 flags.
Unnecessary roughness, Hamilton. It's a 15-yard penalty. We have an illegal block on Toronto on the run back. It's a 10-yard penalty.
Oh my.
First down.
I think that's Toronto gets 20. 15 minus 10. Is that my math any good today?
Well, we'll ask Daryl Moyer. I mean, David Moyer.
They got 5 yards out of that. Okay. Well, I was close.
Well, you had Daryl doing our stats the other night. Damon Allen is back in. That one is batted down the line, so just a little friendly jibe for our David Moyer doing stats and doing all the arithmetic for us here.
But you know, another time that Damon Allen gets hit again. This time it's Devontae Peterson, who had a couple of sacks a week ago. And you know, Hamilton gets great push up the middle from the tackle's belly, and Peterson. Then of course you got the bookends, Cotton and Cheatwood on the outside. I mean, this is an excellent front four. I mean, you haven't really seen it from them tonight, but a couple of stunts got in, and this is a pretty solid group up front.
30 seconds till the half. The Argonauts looking at 2nd and 10, just shy of the 50. Allen unloads, and a little mix up there. No one within 20 yards of where the ball landed. So the Tiger Cats may get one more shot at this.
People are probably wondering, 24-0, why you're going deep. But again, the blitz, and it really dictates that you go deep downfield. That time trying for Palmer, but again, Austin's not too happy. You say, well, I think maybe you got to go underneath a little more. Well, just with 24 seconds to go, I mean, we'll see what Hamilton does, but, I think to try to block this thing would be a great call at this stage, and they've only got one punt returner back. Oh, and they were coming.
Got close, but there is no play at the other end for Craig Yeast. So 19 seconds for the Tiger Cats till halftime. McManus will get another opportunity in the opening half. And how close were they?
Well, Kamal Peterson comes off the edge, and he lays out. He goes to the spot about 2-3 yards out in front of the kicker. I mean, he did it perfectly. He just was a fraction late in getting there. But they did the right thing. I mean, with 24 seconds at that stage, you need a turnover, and might have led to some points had he been able to get it. But don't think Noel Prefontaine wasn't thinking that, too. I mean, he sped up his rhythm just a touch.
McManus good on 50% of his attempts so far. One interception. That going to Kenny Wheaton. "17 seconds to go now."
Well, I don't know what kind of inspirational speech Greg Marshall's going to give at halftime, because he needs to take his offense aside and just, they got to start making first downs to begin with and try to change the flow of this game. Hey, 24-zip is not insurmountable, but they've got to get it going.
Well, offensively, the Tiger Cats really need something to happen early in the second half as they trail by 24.
And hi, everybody. Dave, Matt, Chris, and Jock. Right off the bat, I got to ask it. Was that Damon Allen, was that a fumble?
Bumble.
Or
Bumble.
Matty?
Close call.
Sit down, fumble. Okay. I have to ask that, but hey, make no mistake about it. Full value. The Toronto Argonauts all over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They are playing upset after that loss to them on Monday. And terrible first half of the Tiger Cats, and you can almost trace it back, Schulte, right to their first possession of this football game.
Dave, I think that was the play on this 3rd-and-1 situation. It just showed that Toronto came into this game wanting to redeem themselves in the physical way. But it was also the very next play, the transition. Great call. The play-action pass. Watch John Avery here after the pitch makes a great block to make the play happen. And this is a fantastic adjustment by Bruce. Great example of a receiver making quarterback look good. I thought Toronto, play calling wise, went deep the first 5 times, then went underneath. They took advantage of the fact that as a defensive back, you never want to get deep. They put some fear in those defensive backs. Toronto did in big part of the first half.
Yeah, for a quarter and a half there, Toronto was simply in a great rhythm, and Damon Allen got off to a great start, and it had to do with that flea flicker and throwing a touchdown pass. That often will put you in a pretty good mindset. But Damon is certainly on his game. He's just playing with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And here you see a simple 3-2 formation, and Damon likes this matchup. Baker right here on Shaw right here. Anytime you get a free safety on coverage, one of your best receivers, yeah, take it. Damon's a little upset with himself after this play because he didn't make the throw. Now he's going to go to a 4-1 situation. He's going to put 4 receivers over here, bringing Miles in motion, taken out, and he's going to go ahead and pick on Alfonso Roundtree, who they've been picking on all game long. And they bring Avery right across his face. You got to remember, Alfonso Roundtree's only been back in the CFL for a couple of weeks, and Damon goes to work on him. This tells me he's simply in a rhythm and on top of his game. Now, there late in the second quarter, he took that hit that we were talking about, Jock, and it looks like they might have gotten to him a little bit. It'll be interesting to see if we see Bishop or Allen in the second half.
Well, you might as well give Bishop some playing time because Hamilton doesn't look like they're poised to come back whatsoever. And you talk about Damon being in a rhythm. I tell you, Danny McManus is not in a rhythm. And I want to go back and have a look at his interception. There's different reasons why an interception happens. And let me show you why this one happens. Normally, as a quarterback, you want to look off the free safety. And Danny McManus does a good job of looking him off. The only problem is, Wheaton's not playing free safety here. He's actually working to the strong side of the field to help out and bracket the receiver to the field. Danny doesn't know this. He's looking left. He wants to come back and throw them down the middle of the field. But hey, Wheaton wasn't even looking at him at first. He was just looking at this receiver right here. Now he sees the ball in the air. Danny McManus simply did not see Wheaton at all. He expected that when he looked to the left, Wheaton would move to the left. When he snapped back to throw down the middle, he was standing right there because he was playing the other side of the field. You have to have preparation. You have to know what this defense of Toronto is very difficult to understand, and lots of quarterbacks have struggled against it.
They came into this week, however, dead last in interceptions. That was Wheaton's first of the season. As for Damon Allen, he has 22 touchdown passes right now. As we've been telling you all season long, he's on pace to shatter his season best numbers. In fact, he had 29 touchdown passes the last 2 seasons combined. That's the one that went to Arlen Bruce, 24.
Live at the half, brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the CFL. Do Wendy's, do what tastes right.
The BC Lions started this week by hammering Ottawa to improve to 10-0. We asked you with the Boston Pizza CFL poll question is which team on their remaining schedule has the best chance of beating the Lions? Each one of those teams play them twice, and you say the Edmonton Eskimos. Both of those games will be at Commonwealth Stadium. So Edmonton did not look good last night against the Calgary Stampeders. Credit the Stamps D for that. But how good are these Lions?
I think they're really good, and I think they do have a chance to go undefeated in this football season because I look at their receivers, and if they go in a fourth quarter of a game, their receivers are so good. From a deficit, they can overachieve that. They can get back, and then their defensive backs are so improved that if they go into a game and they don't have the lead, they can make a play on defense. So they do have a shot of going undefeated.
Well, I think they're a good football team, but it's interesting. I was just looking at the stats here and trying to find out where BC dominates from a statistical perspective. And they don't really.
Yeah.
Time of possession, yes, they lead the league in time of possession. They're the least penalized football team in the league. And their defense has given up the fewest first downs. But that's pretty much it. Yeah. And yet, 10-0 with a chance to keep going with it. It's amazing.
They played 4 quarterbacks this season.
Yeah. Their depth is incredible.
Jarius Jackson is on the football field making things happen against the Renegades. And to me, it's a situation where you got Dave Dickinson, he goes down. Printers, he's been hurt all year, and I don't think his mind's in it mentally right now. I just don't think he's there. And then you've got Buck Pierce, who's been lighting it up. I love that kid for preseason. Then Jarius Jackson. So the most important position, quarterback, they're certainly well groomed.
If there's one perceived weakness,
I know what you're going to say.
I hate to pick on the guy.
No, you can't.
Duncan O'Mahony is missing key kicks early in games. He kicked a couple games, good ones, late, but that game was well in hand on Thursday night.
No team is so good that they don't need a field goal kicker. Yeah. They've got to get something done there if they want to go
He hit some big kicks late in the season last year, but I think they got to be concerned in Vancouver right now about the kicking situation, but 10-0, they'll take it. The Argos are trying to get back on track. There's Avery with a touchdown, and they're well on their way here today. Well, later tonight, another Labor Day rematch. Saskatchewan at Winnipeg. The Riders got the win last Sunday. There's Milt Stegall, by the way. He's going to be honored tonight for becoming the CFL's all-time leading touchdown reception leader, the CFL on CBC. Here are the halftime numbers brought to you by Molson Canadian. Schultze, your theory comes into play here.
Yes, my theory of big numbers and little numbers holds weight again. You got all the big numbers, you're playing some good football. But seriously, I like the first downs. 10 for Toronto, only 3 for the Ticats. Hey, defensively, too many 2-and-outs forced by the Toronto defense.
Mike Pinball Clemens spoke with our Sherry Ford.
Pinball, obviously, what a difference a week can make. Damon Allen seems to have his game back. He gets injured, and you still can't keep him out.
He has consistently been our leader and done a great job. Defense has really been the story today. They've come out and really set the pace for us.
And you're obviously using Avery a lot. He always plays well against Hamilton. Is that to be continued in the second half?
Yes, we need to use him a little bit more. We need to run the ball a little bit more, control the pace a little bit more. The biggest thing, though, is come out and play great defensively and protect the football.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much, okay?
Well, it was a close game on Monday at Iverwin Stadium. Hamilton's going to have to make more plays like this one here if they're going to try to make it close in the second.
Damon Allen, a couple of touchdown tosses in the first half. The Tiger Cats still not on the board. The Tiger Cat sideline. Here's Sherry Ford.
Coach, obviously not the start you were looking for. What sort of changes do you have to make on offense to give your defense a rest?
We have to, we have to be, a little bit patient. We got to run the ball a lot more effectively than we did. Getting stopped, in second and short, a couple times. We got to do a better job up front. Do a better job in special teams. Give our defense a chance.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
24-0 at halftime. It's a long way back for the Tiger Cats on foreign turf here at Rogers Center in Toronto. Hamilton with 2 wins in a row coming in, but they have not been involved in this one so far. Second half underway. Livingston. Flags are down, and Livingston is 2 at the 50-yard line. Almost to midfield. Allen shaken up in the opening half. Missed a sequence or two, but still was able to toss for a couple of touchdowns. Danny McManus, no touchdowns, 1 interception. 7 of 14 for McManus, 11 of 20, 190 yards.
Well, 52 yards for Danny Mack. I mean, obviously that won't get that done. But the job is simple. The defense probably cannot afford to allow any more points in this game if they have any thoughts of coming back and try to win this one. And Danny McManus has to find a way. I know his head coach said they've got to run the ball. I think what they need to do is run the ball effectively in those 2-3 yard situations, but it's going to be Danny McManus's arm that gets them back.
John Avery, and it was Mike Clemens talking about running the ball more effectively as well, or at least more often.
I talked at the beginning of the game of what the mission was this week was to protect the football. And Toronto with disastrous 2 games in a row of 10 turnovers. Now they had a solid first half in that department. And of course, would obviously with a 24-point lead like to continue on that way.
2nd and 5. Allen looks to put it up, and he's got a target out at the 50-yard line. Allen has been effective. Arlen Bruce had the game's first touchdown. Another strike there to Arlen Bruce.
Well, Allen, for the most part, he's taken a couple of shots. It was a nice delivery to Bruce, but you know what? The offensive line's done a lot better job. Watch Bernie Williams go down. That means that Cheatwood's here. Who picks him up? John Avery. I mean, this is a beautiful pickup.
10-yard gain, and the Argonauts are set up at the 50. Allen under pressure, sacked 5 times by this Tiger Cat defense on Monday. And Cotton is there for another one. James Cotton leading the Tiger Cats in sacks. That's his 7th of the season.
Well, James Cotton delivered the blow initially in the first half that knocked Damon out for a few series. And once again, he's coming from the outside and beats the block. Going to need a lot of those types of plays if they plan to get back into this game.
Loss of 4. 2nd and 14 Argos. Ticats coming again. Allen down again. Dropped at the 31. Hitchcock blitzing there.
Now, pretty apparent what Kavis Reed is saying on defense. Here comes Hitchcock. He's going to come all the way around from the outside. Watch him make the play right here. Nobody touches him. Damon Allen's 2nd play in a row. He's going to be sacked. So, boy, this looks a lot more like the way they played Monday night. And they're going to need a lot of this. But now they should get reasonable field position. I'll guarantee you Danny Mack's on the sideline saying right now, okay, we got to set the tone on this first series of the second half.
Field position is something the Tiger Cats have not had at any point in this game today. And that's a costly miscue. Hagerbrook misjudged it and has to retreat. So he's barely back to the 30-yard line. And the Tiger Cats still don't have field position. Damon Allen doing a little coaching on the sidelines as the Tiger Cat offense takes the field to begin this possession from the 29. They talked about running a little more. Troy Davis gets a call there from deep in Tiger Cat territory.
Yeah, but it's going to be the receivers that are going to make the difference should they get back into this game. And what a difference 4 days makes. Last Monday night, look what the Hamilton receivers did. They had 19 catches. Today, only 6 receptions for that entire group. There's a lot of unanswered questions here that the Ticats need to address here in the second half. And one of them is to get some more passes completed in a hurry.
2nd and 6, McManus. Gilliam was the target. He went high, couldn't bring it down. Well, so quickly 2 and out again.
Oh, that's just, you know, that's tough. All of a sudden you got your defense right back on the field. Toronto's secondary, it's like they're in the Hamilton huddle on every play. I mean, they have clamped it down. Adrian Smith, Steinhauer, this group has clamped it down so tight today that when guys have been making catches for Hamilton, they've been getting hammered. And this group, Rich Stubler's secondary, has really done a super job so far in this game.
Livingston looks for a block and then cuts it up. Caught from behind, and he took a hit from Radlin right at the 45-yard line. 9 on the return. And the Argos defense has shut down the Tiger Cats and turned the ball right back to Damon Allen.
Well, we talked about the great first half defense. Let's look at a few of the plays that really made the difference. That was the gamble early in the game that they stuffed. They get sacks. Watch Kenny Wheaton. That was a superb play with the interception. The hits just keep on coming.
Andre Talbot to the near side, flanked wide left. And again, it's Avery who has been very effective again today, coming off his best game along the ground as an Argonaut so far in 2005.
Well, and Rich Stubler's put a nice game plan together, and his team defensively has responded very, very well, pitching a shutout so far in this game, but it just seems like their coverage is just so tight on Hamilton's receivers. They've had no breathing room whatsoever.
Avery picked up 9. And the Argos will take a first down on Damon Allen's 1-yard carry.
It's interesting to see the two teams' philosophies on how to run the football. With Troy Davis, they really try to use traps and to get him to the outside. With Avery, it's get the ball in his mitts fast and let him pick a hole quickly, straight up north and south. And that's where he is at his best. He's also been a solid receiver this afternoon out of the backfield.
The Argonaut march continues from midfield. 3 flags are down, and the play whistled down in a hurry. Bob Hitchcock seems to think it's against the Argonauts. Avery thinks it's the other way. And I think Avery might win.
Okay. Offside. Hamilton, number 92. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Well, that's Demetrius Walker who's getting some playing time here, and he just got a little jumpy.
So it's 1st and 5. Argonauts with a 24-0 advantage on the Tiger Cats. It's the Labor Day rematch at Rogers Center. Avery cut down almost at the line of scrimmage. Another flag is there. It was Chris Martin, number 29, to meet Avery there.
Well, all of a sudden the officials have taken over this game, and it's
Holding Toronto number 69. It's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Bernard Williams, the left tackle, gets called for the holding in Toronto, which had super field position. Now they're just going totally in reverse. Here's Williams right down here at this part of your screen. He grabs Rob Hitchcock right there. It is. I mean, that's pretty easy to call.
Well, if it's still not bad field position at the Argo 50, I don't think the Tiger Cats have been out across the Hamilton 50 so far. Picked off, and the Tiger Cats get their first turnover of the afternoon as Jason Goss stepped in front of that Damon Allen pass. Allen threw a couple up last week, including one for a touchdown. Is this what the Tiger Cats need to get back into this? Jason Goss coming up with his 4th interception of the season. 1st and 10, Hamilton when we get back. Jason Goss, 4th interception of the season, and the Tiger Cats are finally in Argonaut territory.
Yeah, they've had one for a touchdown here. You get a great look at it, and it's Arlon Bruce. He needs to work back to the quarterback. When he stops and does not move back to the quarterback, that's the opportunity created for Jason Goss to close on the football. And really, I think Bruce could have run a better pattern to maybe prevent that.
Davis spins his way, and that's a 10-yard gain for Troy Davis, running effectively there.
Well, you know, there's been some critical points in this game, and I suspect that 24-0, this is it for Danny McManus. He's got to take advantage of this turnover. This is the first time that they've been on Toronto's side of midfield, and great field position, obviously, to start this drive, and they have to do it right here. And, you know, I venture to say it won't be with field goals, John. I think if they're reasonably close and they get to some 3rd down situations, I suspect Greg Marshall will go for it here.
I would think so. He gambled early and lost.
It's a different time of the game, though.
Absolutely.
I don't think on the road like this, the way Toronto's playing, field goals are going to get you back into this game.
And up for the first down by inches. So a positive start for the Tiger Cats on the interception, and then a first down on the run by Troy Davis.
Going to a 6-receiver set here.
McManus has 2 targets over there. And the Argonauts are taking it all the way to the house. Adrian Smith. Craig Yeast had it go off his fingertips. Adrian Smith, 2nd interception of the year. 78 yards, touchdown Toronto.
Yeah, and the route is on. It's Craig Yeast. Here's Yeast right here. Watch as he comes. Now you be the judge. Do you think he's looking at the defensive back for the hit coming? He takes his eye off the football right there, tips it to Adrian Smith, and Adrian Smith, 48 career interceptions. That's his 49th after 12 great years in this league, and he gets to go all the way to the house, and that might have been, although it's early in the halfway through the 3rd quarter, that might be the final blow today.
A 78-yard touchdown. Frustration for the Tiger Cats, in particular McManus and the head coach. The Argonauts are getting their revenge on home turf this afternoon. Toronto on top 31-0 after an interception return by Adrian Smith of 78 yards. 5th career interception for a Major. And the hole a little deeper for the Tiger Cats now as Hagenbrook looks for a little room on the return. 36-yard line is all he'll get.
Well, another look. Adrian Smith gets the tip. Craig Yeast cannot make the play. And Adrian Smith, when he got it, he knew exactly where he was going and how quickly could he get there.
Had an escort, and Danny McManus wasn't going to come anywhere close to making a tackle here to save that touchdown. 2 interceptions by the Tiger Cats this afternoon. McManus was picked off by Wheaton earlier. Smith now. And 17 points for the Argonauts off turnovers thus far.
Well, and the good teams make you pay, and Toronto's defense has been so solid today, and 17 points. Defense is working on a shutout, and don't think that they're not talking about that too. I think they'd like nothing better than to return the favor on Hamilton with the win, and to do it in fine style with a shutout if they can manage to keep that going.
6:56 to play, third quarter. Tiger Cats got a first down on the reception by Gilliam, and about 3 yards on the run there by Troy Davis.
Well, one of the real problems for the Ticats has been, you know, turning the football over. When you were 0-8, I mean, the last couple of games, none, but there's the number so far this year. They're a -14, and it's safe to say that that's the worst in the league. Makes it tough to win games.
Ticats with 2 wins in a row, including the Labor Day victory Monday over the Argonauts. Davis couldn't hang on. But they're no match for Toronto so far. And Rogers Center this afternoon.
Well, Bonner breaking quickly on the football. I mean, the speed on the outside with Michael Fletcher and Antonius Bonner, I mean, allows them to play in coverage. Watch Bonner breaking on the football right here, gets his hands in and distracts Davis just enough. Antonius Bonner, 33 years of age, and you know, I remember the first game he played. It was in 1997. He came in for the injured Donald Smith. That's when they had the 2 Smiths in the secondary. And
no chance for a return there for Arlen Bruce. Well, checking out the sack leaders so far. The tally brought to you by Purolator, as always. Every sack helps Purolator tackle hunger across Canada. The Eskimos on top. Stampeders with a win in Edmonton yesterday, right behind with 32.
you know, going back to finish the thought on Antonius Bonner, I mean, I do remember in 97, Donald Smith was injured. He was a defensive back, so Bonner comes in, and you know, the corner was injured. He played halfback. Guess who played the corner that day? Marcelo Simmons moved out to play the corner. Marcelo Simmons, now the special teams coach for the Argonauts.
Avery, active all afternoon. Dunbrack with the stop there.
Well, and it almost becomes a tough part of the game for Kent Austin, who calls the plays for Damon Allen and sends a lot in. Allen certainly has free will to change the play, but you know, you're up 31-0. You want to play it kind of safe, but again, you don't want to be so safe that you stagnate yourself. But I think it's a tough time to call offensive series.
Second and 5. And Allen will have another first down. Robert Baker with the catch, and pinball upset, suggesting there was a face mask on the play. 23-yard gain for Baker. And we'll take a closer look. There is a penalty flag down, in fact, 2.
Yeah, Arlen Bruce hit a defensive back from behind, and they're definitely going to call that. Kahari Jones, you're going to see him on the next Hamilton series. I'm not surprised at that at all. Well, there's the face mask. There's definitely going to be a call there.
Major foul, face mask, Hamilton number 29. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's Chris Martin.
Well, I thought they were going to get Arlen Bruce for the block, too, because he drilled somebody from behind.
Injured Tiger Cat down right at midfield. That's Justin. So we'll see how he's doing and take a quick break here in Toronto. Wendy's CFL Live from Rogers Center in Toronto. It's the rematch. The Tiger Cats won Labor Day at Ivor Wynne. And the Argonauts are handing it back to them 5 days later here on their home turf. Damon Allen with a couple of early touchdowns. Also shaken up in the first half, but he's back, and the Argos are on the move again. Moving inside the Tiger Cat 50-yard line on the connection on the far side, as well as the penalty tacked on. Allen has another completion at the 40. There's another flag at the 50. Soward has another catch. If it stands, it'll be a first down. R.J. Soward.
Well, it's coming back. Soward's had a tough day with penalties on his team. He
Procedure, illegal formation, Toronto number 69. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Soward had a catch for a touchdown that was called back.
Now he's got another one called back. Procedure on Bernard Williams, the left tackle. One of the things I always wonder about for Damon Allen, I mean, Bernard Williams is 6'9". Dave Costa, the tackle on the other side, is 6'6". At what point does Damon Allen have difficulty throwing over these guys? They have to create some lanes for him to throw in.
1st and 15, and Allen is sacked again. 3rd time he's been down. Adriano Belli getting the sack there.
Well, and Adriano Belli got me before the game too with the big old smooch known as the kissing bandit. Watch him right here. Beats the block, beats the center Jack Folk, and gets the sack. I couldn't get away from him down in the end zone in the warm-up. He saw me. I was starting to run, and he caught me from behind.
Well, yeah, you've lost a little of your speed.
I've lost all my speed.
Well, maybe you slowed down on purpose.
I know. I got Suter the other day, and I think Suter liked it. I didn't like it. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Allen from the shotgun, 2nd and a whole bunch here. And the Argonauts turn it into a first down. They needed 20, and they get it. Tony Miles waited on the far side and made the catch. 25 yards.
Well, it was a terrific move on the rookie corner, Tad Cornegay. Watch Miles at the top of your screen. Watch the move to the inside, coming right there, and then back to the outside, and then the ball's a little underthrown. Whoa. He has to fight for it, but what a heck of a catch. Good move, good catch.
Got it a couple of times, actually.
Well, Kent Austin's decided they're not going to let up at all. 31-0, and they're just content to pour it on.
Here the Argonauts set up at the Tiger Cat 35. John Avery stopped in his tracks. It'll be a loss of a yard, it would appear. Nice to see John Avery having a little success again this afternoon. He had a 90-yard game last Monday in Hamilton, and I mean, it's been a struggle for him. Injuries have really made it difficult for a real happy-go-lucky guy, John Avery.
Well, and of course for him, this really isn't the style of offense that he wants to be in. However, this is what they play, and he's got to adapt to it. Got him.
2nd and 11. And Avery was the target.
Yep. Well, once again, Damon Allen saw the matchup coming, and here's Avery. Hitchcock looks like he's going to blitz, so Avery comes this way. Now, Allen, Hitchcock tries to recover, but had that ball been on target, I mean, Avery was gone. Damon Allen's been very good today at reading the coverages and reading the areas where the ball should go to and then delivering it.
Noel Prefontaine lines up, good from a couple of locations so far today. From 43, he's wide. So Prefontaine has missed a couple, made a couple. And the Tiger Cats surrender the single. Already time to start thinking about who would be the player of the game on this Saturday afternoon in Toronto.
You know who I thought had a great first half was Kenny Wheaton. He could have been considered. Yeah. Damon Allen, he could be considered.
We invite you to cast your vote. Player of the game. Brought to you by Rogers, your world right now.
Well, Kahari Jones has come into the football game, and so far with the Ticats this year at a 67% rate, and he's only thrown 42 passes.
Jones from the shotgun, and Gilliam went up and went right through his hands.
I mean, that Kahari Jones had trouble handling the shotgun snap from center, and that play was so slow. I mean, that's got to be fast. Bang, get the ball, get rid of it, get it into your receiver's hands fast, because Toronto's got so much team speed on defense. The longer you wait, you have no chance for success on a quick screen to the receiver.
Another 2nd and long for the Tiger Cats. Kahari Jones at the controls from the 35. Can't find a target, and Jones is down. Kevin Ivan. First sack of the season. He's had a couple of tackles for losses.
Well, I've talked all day long about the Argonaut secondary and the tight coverage. Watch here, you get a good look. Half field, and desperately Kahari Jones is trying to make something happen. He's looking to the short side of the field, but look at this. Michael Fletcher's out. I mean, there is nowhere to go throw the football, and Kevin Ivan really gets what we call a coverage sack.
Livingston back at the Argonaut 40. Toronto will get the ball right back. Livingston steps up, short punts. Ticats had him surrounded, and eventually they bring him down.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you in part by Holiday Inn Hotels, the official business hotel of the CFL, helping you stay connected to the office with free high-speed internet in every room, so the office is just a click away.
Look again, Leaf. Look where the Argonauts begin this drive.
Well, they've only had one series when they started deep in their own end, and on that series they drove it for a touchdown.
Argos begin near the Toronto 50 at the 48.
Yeah, they started on their own 10 and went 100 yards for a touchdown. I believe that was John Avery's touchdown reception.
29 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And Avery has 3, maybe 4. Argonauts get a rest after this one. They'll take the bye next week.
You wind down this 3rd quarter. This should be the last play of the 3rd quarter. I'm just wondering how much you're going to see Damon Allen in the 4th. This might be a perfect opportunity for Michael Clemens to give Michael Bishop some playing time. Damon Allen certainly has done his job, staking them to a 32-0 lead.
Misread by the receiver Soward, who went deep, and Allen was expecting him to stop and wait for this one. It's 32-0 on Wendy's CFL Live, a quarter to go. Well, no question that the Argonauts have responded well to the loss on Labor Day in Hamilton. They have been very effective all afternoon.
Well, they've really done it in all facets. The defense has been absolutely superb. Damon Allen's certainly done enough on offense to win, and with a great crowd here at Rogers Center, they've really rewarded their fans that have turned out today in a big number.
Great atmosphere at the new look Rogers Center, and here are the Argos. Prefontaine takes it deep. Craig Yeast, a little dance, a little move, and he paid for it, crossing the 10-yard line. There's a penalty marker down. So the numbers for the Argonauts look very, very positive through 3 quarters. And the Tiger Cats have managed only 4 first downs.
Well, there's not a lot of good stuff to talk about Hamilton. 4 first downs is anemic. Time of possession 10 minutes. I mean, the Argonauts, from the moment they kicked off today, you could tell they were ready to play. It's been an inspired effort. They haven't made any mistakes like they had in the 2 previous games. Although they won against Calgary, it wasn't a an oil painting by any stretch. It was kind of ugly, and Damon Allen's had a nice afternoon protecting the football, and I know that's what was paramount in his mind as he entered this game, and those are the numbers. I'm sure very satisfying for him.
Stats of the quarter brought to you by Rona, the how-to people. Here are the Tiger Cats beginning deep in Hamilton territory again. Whistle down, Kahari Jones at the controls for the Tiger Cats. We talked about the atmosphere here at the Rogers Center, and they've really done a nice job of turning this into a fun place to be on a football afternoon. We remember all of the Argonaut legends as we look to the south end of the stadium here. Harding and Mazzotti and Flutie and Shadow. Bill Simons, Michael Clemens. It really is a nice atmosphere created by the Argos.
Delay of game, Toronto. Illegal use of electronic noise to 10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, it got the people in charge of the scoreboard and penalized the home team as a result. Illegal to create artificial noise when the opposition is out over the football. Looking at a first down, so the Tiger Cats get a first down as a result, out across the 10, and that helps a little bit. Julian Radlin and Michael Fletcher ran into him. Or I should say Troy Davis carrying the ball.
Now this entire Toronto defense, I mean, you can name all 12 because they've all made contributions. Last couple of games, only 5 tackles, 56 in the first 8, so he's picked it up this afternoon quite a bit.
Just a 1-yard gain, 2nd and 9. Kahari Jones tracked down from behind. The Argos keep coming. Jonathan Brown celebrating another sack. That's the 4th of the afternoon.
Well, this isn't anything fancy. I mean, this is just hard work by Jonathan Brown. There he is working on Dave Hack, and I mean, this is just simply how badly do you want to get to the quarterback? And in a game like this where everybody is making a contribution on defense, Jonathan Brown's making one there. He gets his 4th sack. He had 8 a year ago, and he's trying to get back to that number. You know that.
The Argos keep coming, and the Tiger Cats have a long way to go. Some Tiger Cats, the Argos scored the very first time that Damon Allen got his hands on the football. A 38-yard toss to Arlen Bruce for his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Tiger Cats have not been able to answer that or any of the other touchdowns put up by the Argos. Here's Bruce returning for Toronto. Out near the 40. Hard-hitting game in the rematch. Jerry Ford has an injury update.
Well, guys, a couple of injury updates on Hamilton defensive players. First, starting cornerback Arabin Justin rolled his left ankle, and he's likely done for the day. And backup linebacker Rob Hitchcock suffered a stinger in his left shoulder. He's icing it right now, and with the score being what it is, he's likely done for the day as well, guys.
Well, I'm not surprised, John, that Michael Bishop now gets the 4th quarter to play, and I think this is a great move on Coach Clemens' part.
And Avery still very active for Toronto. Sweep right, nets only a yard, however, as Baranchia makes the tackle there.
You know, it might be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised, and yes, he is in the game right now, too, is Sean Millington, number 25. And Damon Allen, yep, you deserve a little break. He had 3 solid quarters, turned the tide around from a couple of shaky performances in the last few weeks, and I think this is, again, as I said, a good move to have Bishop in there.
2nd and 9. Arlen Bruce shook off 1 tackle and comes up shy of the first down on 2nd and 9. Sean Millington out of the booth and down to the field.
I can only assume he had some unfinished business to bring him back out of retirement. Working mostly the special teams as he finds his legs. Third game in the lineup for him.
Craig Yeast for the Tiger Cats back at the 19. Not deep by Prefontaine, but he gets a roll out of it, and Yeast has to scramble to pick it up. He's hit immediately. Flag down. A tough afternoon for the Tiger Cats. You can read it right there. 11:16 to go, fourth quarter. Tiger Cats in a deep hole against the Argonauts. Toronto with 34 on the board. The Tiger Cats are still looking for their first point of the afternoon. A different story from what happened earlier in the week on Labor Day in Hamilton. Some early movements. We'd like to take a moment to say a special hello to our Canadian troops stationed around the world and watching the CFL on Canadian Armed Forces networks, and to the troops of our American neighbors watching on the American Armed Forces network as well. Welcome all. And wish it were a little closer for all watching everywhere, particularly in Hamilton and that area. Big things expected the Tiger Cats after back-to-back wins. So far, it hasn't materialized. A one-handed catch. Best play of the afternoon offensively for the Tiger Cats by Craig Yeast. Second catch of the day, but this is the prettiest one.
Well, Craig Yeast running the curl, and it is a nice catch. A one-hander over the middle. Once he clears the linebacker, the ball's in the air as soon as he's around Fletcher, and the hit was coming from Kenny Wheaton. That's quite a circus catch. They need a few more of those.
Gain of 16 yards. Tiger Cats out of the 25 now. Kahari Jones lucky to get it away, but right into the arms of Michael Fletcher. He was just trying to put it into the turf, and Fletcher responded, and that's the kind of day it's been for both Tiger Cat quarterbacks today.
What a hugely dominating performance by this Toronto defense. Kahari Jones under tremendous pressure, first from Noah Cantor, who breaks through number 92. Then pressure coming from Jonathan Brown, and where he was going, no one knows. Could have been to Julian Radlin, but badly overthrown. And Michael Fletcher with his third pick of the season. And the Toronto Argonauts from the opening kick have been so dominant on defense. I believe, without question, this is their strongest defensive performance of the year.
So with Bishop at the controls, Avery gets the call again, and he's inside the 10. John Avery with a 7-yard gain.
Toronto going with a conventional two-back offense in this situation. Sean Millington, 25, will be the fullback leading for Avery, and he's getting some playing time here in the fourth quarter as well. So keep your eye on 25, Millington. We'll see if they try to work him into the offense. Avery again, back-to-back solid weeks on the ground. Yes, they do.
There's Millington. There's the touchdown. Sean Millington pulls his way into the end zone, his first touchdown as an Argonaut.
Well, I'm sure not surprised. Watch Bernie Williams and Jude St. John. They cave down, and then Millington reads the blocks and takes it to the outside. But I am not surprised at all that they tried to get Sean Millington worked into this offense, get him comfortable, get his teammates comfortable with him, because when the colder weather comes, to have the Diesel banging away at 230 pounds, he's going to be an asset to this football team.
A 10-yard touchdown for Sean Millington. And the Argos have plus 40 on the board now. Our statistician David Moyer points out the last time the Argos shut out an opponent, August the 8th, 1979. The opponent, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and the score was 25-0.
You know, it was interesting. After Sean Millington got back to the sidelines, he went right to Jude St. John, the left guard, and he went right to Bernie Williams, the left tackle. And you know, he's saying, great blocks, guys. You caved everybody down and let me read it. And that was a super read by Millington.
Troy Davis returning kicks now. Still on his feet. Flags are down as Davis gets to midfield and across. Tapped from behind by Jordan Younger. Will check out the infraction.
Hamilton, number 38, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That kind of a day for the Tiger Cats, and a nice return. It's coming back. McManus is back on the field. See that small cast he's wearing on his throwing hand.
Well, this move kind of surprises me, but unless Greg Marshall says this is we're not going to be shut out today, and my best chance not to be shut out is with Danny McManus back in the game.
Troy Davis. Jesse Lumsden, the Heck Crichton Trophy winner out of McMaster, will officially sign with the Tiger Cats next week, and Greg Marshall plans to use him this way.
We'll get Jesse starting practice on Tuesday when we get back after this game, and we'll work him in, you know, on special teams, you know, try him, you know, returning kicks, you know, and try to get him caught up with, you know, our offense, and, you know, how fast he picks it up, and certainly circumstances in the game. We like to, you know, give him some carries and, you know, see what he can do, but obviously we're going to evaluate him kind of on a day-to-day basis to see how we can help the team.
Well, John, no one knows better than Greg Marshall, who was Jesse's head coach at McMaster University. It's going to be interesting to see what Lumsden can do. I think, you know, I see him fitting in somewhat like Eric Lapointe in Montreal. I mean, he doesn't play all the time, but will certainly make some sort of contribution to this offense.
McManus behind his receiver, Mike Morreale. And it's third down, Hamilton quickly.
You know, and I've been asked this question a lot, like, what do you think about Jesse Lumsden coming to Ticats? I said, well, he's not a fullback, so, I mean, he plays Troy Davis's position, and I'm a big Troy Davis fan. So I think it'll be interesting to see, and, you know, Jesse's going to have to earn his way on special teams, no question about that. So, you know, if he has the attitude that I want to come in and make a contribution, he'll be okay. But it's his initial contribution, no question, will be through special teams, not as a starting running back.
Borum has been busy this afternoon, kicking it away for the Tiger Cats. Livingston returning for the Argos. Penalty markers are down again with 7:22 to play in the final quarter. And the Argos all over the Tiger Cats in this one, 41-0. Well, even the Tiger Cat loyalists have had enough, it would appear. Remember when O'Shea wore 59 as a Tiger Cat a while ago. It has not been an afternoon for Hamilton to enjoy any success at all offensively. Danny McManus 1 for his last 7 passes. A couple of interceptions. Long. John Avery getting his hands on the football quite frequently. Not much there for Avery. They'll call it a couple of yards. Well, hands on the ball 16 times.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, we talked early in the game. needs to be involved. You need to keep his interest level up. He's got 120 total yards today. That's an excellent effort for him.
2nd and 8, and this will be another Argonaut first down. Tony Miles. Toronto out at the 50 again.
Tony Miles on the quick post against the rookie Sidney Hagebrook, and here's Miles on the outside. Just a quick slant. Clears the defensive back. The ball is in the air. Good timing by Michael Bishop on that throw. And again, Miles fearless because he got the legs cut out, but still was able to hang on to the football. Pretty solid afternoon for Tony Miles with 7 receptions.
Argonauts continue to drive across midfield. It's Avery again. And Toronto has been in great field position all afternoon, starting from the very opening sequence for the Argonauts. Ticats turned it over on downs. Damon Allen came in and threw for a touchdown on his very first touch, finding Arlen Bruce for a 38-yard score. And since then, it's been all Argos without question.
We'll follow the progress of John Avery as well. I mean, he had 90 last week on the ground. He has yet to have a 100-yard rushing game today, so he's getting awfully close.
Another catch by Bruce. Almost broke a tackle. Arlen Bruce. Bernard Cox dragged him down after a huge gain for Toronto. Making 32 yards for Bruce here.
And he has a great ability to fight for the football and, you know, really working against the best defensive back that Hamilton has. Jason Goss beat him to the corner, goes up, shields his body away from Goss. Well, I'll tell you, what a difference in this team when he was released by San Francisco last year, just around this time in September, and he signed with Toronto, didn't go back to Winnipeg, came here. And the complexion of this offense changed dramatically when that happened.
John Millington stopped on the initial rush, spins away and gets yardage.
Oh boy.
And he'll be in first down range there.
Boy,
Millington with a touchdown already.
And you know what? You talk about changing the complexion of an offense. With the addition of Millington coming back out of retirement, you get the diesel going, and they list him at 237. I think he's around 230. You got Avery's quickness, you got the pounding running of Millington. All of a sudden now, you get into cold weather games on the road, down the road. Argos have added a nice dimension here.
Millington again, he had 12 yards on the previous carry, and he gets 4 here. Argonauts continue to lead the CFL East. This will be win number 7. And this is definitely a blowout. We watched the Lions on Thursday night in Ottawa, and that was a blowout too, as Dickinson and company put 61 points on the board against the Renegades.
That was a mercy killing, that was. You know, it's interesting, when Millington first announced he was coming out of retirement and going to sign with Toronto, I know John Avery's nose was a little out of joint. I mean, he didn't like it. You know, he said, well, how in the world can we ever share the workload here? I hardly get the ball enough now as it is. But I think, you know, if you talk to John Avery now, in the big picture of things, this is added and it's going to add a great dimension to this Toronto offense, and it'll be up to Kent Austin, who's probably got the most difficult job of how do you get everybody their touches.
Injury timeout here at the Rogers Centre. A reminder to join TSN in search of Canada's next poker star. The inaugural Canadian event, the Degree Poker Championship, premieres Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Pacific. It's available on TSN HD. Degree Poker Championship on TSN. So heading into the game, the Argonauts 2 points ahead of the Alouettes. Even in games played, this will move Toronto 4 points up, and 2 ahead in the win column.
And you know, Ottawa playing the way they have lately, Hamilton really had their eyes firmly planted on that 3rd spot in the standings, and now this deals Hamilton a real blow as well.
Sigh of relief in Ottawa around the Renegades headquarters all of a sudden after Ottawa dropped the game to the Lions and suffered a third straight loss to drop out of contention at least a little bit, and back to 5-6 after being 5-3 3 short weeks ago. Ready for a 2nd and 5 for the Argonauts. Bishop at the controls. The end zone toss. The touchdown is there. Arlen Bruce. His 2nd touchdown catch. Had one on the very first sequence here at Rogers Center this afternoon.
Inside receiver Arlen Bruce. Here's Roundtree. When he gets even with Roundtree, Michael Bishop has the ball in the air right now because he knows that Bruce will go up and fight for it. Roundtree has no clue where the football is. He's not able to locate it, and Arlen Bruce able to adjust to the football. He's made some great catches this afternoon. So again, when they got him last September and he didn't go back to Winnipeg after his NFL tryout, to me that was one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle last year for Toronto's Grey Cup win.
And you know what? The Blue Bombers have not been the same since Arlen Bruce left town.
Well, he's huge because he was a big kick returner for them too.
Michael Bishop chips in with a touchdown toss.
Well, Bishop 6 of 7 since he's come in to start the 4th quarter, 72 yards, and the 1 touchdown that he just delivered to Arlen Bruce.
Not that we shouldn't have expected the Argonauts to bounce back, but they have dominated the Tiger Cats on both sides of the ball since the opening kickoff.
They have vaulted back. They haven't bounced back.
Alfonso Roundtree gets back to return a kick. They have some confusion back there and very little yards on the return.
You know, when you're a quarterback and you have a receiver that will consistently fight and win for the football, you're willing to take chances. And with Arlen Bruce, I mean, it's a better than average chance that he's going to come down with it. But when you're quarterback and you have that kind of guy, you'll just throw it up. I mean, Roundtree has no clue where it is right now, and Bruce has made those kind of catches all day.
A little pirouette in the air there for Arlen Bruce as Troy Davis has close to 5 for the Tiger Cats. He's out to the 30-yard line. Looking back on shutouts by the Argonauts, shutting down the opposition way back against the Bombers. Today against the Tiger Cats, Montreal and Ottawa. The big shutout wins for this Argonaut franchise through the years. Miscue. McManus was about 10 yards away from DJ Flick, and these guys have not been able to get in sync at all this afternoon.
You know, for 2 weeks when they had 2 wins in a row, it looked like they were over the hump, and the receivers and Danny McManus were back on the same page, because early in the year, this is exactly what it looked like. There was total disarray, there was frustration, there was anger coming between quarterback and receivers, and today again, I mean, either the Argos are just absolutely so overwhelmingly good on defense today, or the Ticat receivers have been like a half a step slow all afternoon.
2:25 to go as Borum kicks it away again. Livingston. The inside track, and he slipped. When you look back at the very beginning of the game, again, Leaf, it was the gamble 3rd and 1 that the Argos shut down, and then Damon Allen walked out and threw a strike for a touchdown the very first time he had his hands on the ball, connecting with Arlen Bruce. And boy, that really took the wind out of the Tiger Cat sails early.
Well, it sure did, and that first play was huge. It was a message series. You stop them and you score so fast. I mean, goodness gracious.
The defense turns it over, and Allen makes the Tiger Cats pay with a 38-yard touchdown strike to Arlen Bruce. He's since found Bruce again, or at least the Argos have found Bruce. It was Bishop with that last touchdown to Arlen Bruce. So here's another quarterback in. Charlie Peterson for the Argos, getting a few reps here in the late going with this right out of control. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go, and Jeff Johnson gets an opportunity too with Peterson in to call the signals. He's out of BYU in his rookie season, 6'2", 194.
He's an Arena Football League quarterback, and he ended up coming to Toronto, but he's from Brigham Young. They throw a lot of footballs at BYU, so his experience at major U.S. college would lead me to think that he's pretty adept at throwing the football.
Jeff Johnson again, and Johnson will turn this into a first down with a little extra effort.
Uh-oh, here we go.
It's
what would a Ticat Argo game be without just a little bit of this? Hasn't been overly chippy today, but
well, it's Wayne Shaw and Andre Talbot getting involved first off, and then the rest of the troops come in.
well, Wayne Shaw was involved in the big blowout last year. There's Talbot. They start right there. Now you got Hardy jumping in. Well, there's old Nick Volpe, the Canadian player personnel guy. Nick, get out of the way.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton number 1, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Here's the game story. It's short and sweet, brought to you by Sport Check, the power of sport.
Well, some real keys. Damon Allen had a flawless afternoon. First play he scored. Adrian Smith took it to the house, and well, the biggest thing is when you take advantage of turnovers, you have a chance to win every game you play. And Argonauts 24 points off 5 Ticat miscues. And Arlen Bruce has been spectacular catching the football this afternoon.
Arlen Bruce with the bookend touchdowns as it stands right now. He got the first of the game, and as it stands, he has the last of the game. But then again, the Argos have their hands on the football with 1:42 to go. Charlie Peterson at the controls, and Brian Crawford, number 40, gets into the game as well.
And a lot of extra little stuff's going on right now. Renard Cox got into it downfield and took a shot at, I believe, Chad Folk, or Jude St. John, actually. And Jude St. John went down like he'd been hit by a sniper's bullet. I can't believe Renard Cox is going to do a lot of damage on him. Watch this. Watch this here. No, tell me, goodness gracious.
24, 15-yard penalty, first down.
He could get a Gemini.
Please,
for that.
you don't tell me you call that unnecessary roughness, because that wasn't. That was a little push. Of course, Cox was upset of the acting of the world. I can't wait to see Jude St. John later and just say, goodness gracious, are you going to fall down that easily?
1:37 to go in a long afternoon and into the early evening for the Tiger Cats.
Well,
Crawford again.
Ken Austin's doing the right thing here. He's making Charlie Peterson keep it on the ground, and you know that's the right thing to do at this stage when you're up by 48. There's no, you know, everybody in this league has a long memory. And just keep it on the ground, run the clock out. And
Second and 5, Toronto. Third quarterback is in there for the Argonauts right now, and it's Brian Crawford getting successive carries. No question, the Argos have answered the Tiger Cat victory on a late field goal on Monday.
so here's what Pinball's saying. You know, it's 3rd and 1. Let's see what he's going to do to just end this game.
Less than a minute remaining.
They're going to take a timeout as this clock winds down.
Peterson playing it for all it's worth, going over for a little bit of a chat with Kent Austin. I don't imagine there's too much to be said at this point in time.
This is going to be an interesting call on 3rd and 1 when you're up 48 and see what they do.
Corey Warren has the next edition of Sports Center coming up right after we're done. Sports Center will have highlights of an Argo victory. Jason and the Argonauts celebrating this dominating win with Mike O'Shea back in the Toronto lineup. The Bell Canadian Open as well. Part of the highlight pack on Sports Center coming up in a matter of moments. 47 seconds to go. This is 3rd and 1. Peterson throws to the end zone. And I'm not sure who it was to.
Well, it was a post corner to Arlen Bruce, but I'm sure that Bruce and Peterson have not had a lot of work together. He'd be doing the scout team, running the other team's offense in practice sessions, so maybe they threw it away on purpose. Who knows?
Well, he did go over and get instructions from the offensive coordinator, Kent Austin.
So it will show up, however, as a turnover today.
.41 seconds left. Tiger Cats move on against the Stampeders next week.
We have
Saturday night game.
Yep, Saturday night. We will have that for you on TSN.
Idu gets a little late work. Kojo Idu out of McMaster University.
Big guy, 6 foot, 240 pounds, and you know, a lot of people said, hey, he was at McMaster at the same time as Jesse Lumsden. They overlapped. So what do? Kojo Ido is a very talented running back. He's more of a fullback type, though, so that fits nicely in Hamilton's scheme.
Idu again. A couple of nice runs to finish it off for the Tiger Cats. The Argonauts on defense laying back a little bit, one would guess, just trying to end this and get on with a bit of a celebration. Argos with the bye next week, so some time to relax a little bit and savor first place and a 2-game lead on the Montreal Alouettes as it stands going into the break.
And shutouts don't come easily in the CFL, and for Rich Stubler and the Toronto defense, I mean, kudos to them.
Idu again. Run, run, run. The Tiger Cats couldn't do much of that in the early going. And the Argonauts full value for a very dominating victory over their Ontario rivals from just down the QEW. Final score on Wendy's CFL Live. Argos 48, Tiger Cats 0.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger of the CFL. Do Wendy's, do what tastes right. By Rona, the how-to people. By Rogers Wireless, music phones, music features, live out loud. And by Molson Canadian.
Well, Hamilton's going to try to pick up the pieces here. Another team that has to rebound from a drubbing is Ottawa. They're at home on Wendy's Friday Night Football next Friday, 8 Eastern Time against Winnipeg. SportsCenter is next with Corey Warren. He is standing by with all the news of the day from the world of sports. The Rogers player of the game is voted by you. It's a tie. You got a tie between Damon Allen and John Avery, each with 34% of the vote in a big Toronto Argonaut blowout. On behalf of our entire crew, this is Dave Randolph saying thanks for watching. You are watching TSN, Canada's sports leader.